student. Last class we discussed regarding the isomers, especially in coordination chemistry, coordination compound, how they will exhibit different types of isomers. Everything we finished. But today in this class we are going to discuss regarding the bonding in coordination chemistry. Bonding in coordination chemistry. Bonding in coordination compounds. What is this bonding? Means we all know the Werner theory, especially the postulates of Werner theory. But in this class, what are all the failures? Means what are all the drawbacks of Werner theory? Werner, some points he never explained. The particular points we are going to explain in detail under this bonding in coordination chemistry, coordination compound. What is this bonding? See, Werner explained only regarding the directions. Direction means it may be square planar, it may be tetrahedral, it may be octahedral, but he never explained how they exhibit tetrahedral, how they exhibit square planar. We don't know that. Means he never ever explained the directional property. Directional property. And second one, we all know the magnetic behavior. Magnetic behavior means, for example, if we place any compound in the presence of magnetic environment, then it will show the magnetic behavior, means whether it may be attraction or it may be repulsion. Werner, he never explained regarding the magnetic property of the coordination compound. In this bonding and coordination compound, in this topic we are going to study about how they show the magnetic property and how to identify whether this one is magnetically paramagnetic or diamagnetic, whether it show attraction or repulsion, how to conclude that. Everything we are going to discuss here. Here so many theories are there. First one, valence bond theory. Valence bond theory. What is this valence bond theory? What are all the postulates are there? How this theory helpful to us to predict the magnetic property, directions and the hybridization concept. Here it mainly deals regarding the hybridization. First of all, you know this word hybridization. What is this hybridization? Hybridization means it's nothing but mixing of orbitals of different energy. Means mixing of different energy orbitals. For example, S, P, D, F. See, these are all the different orbitals. S, different orbitals, spherical in shape. P, different orbitals, dumbbell shape. D, double dumbbell shape, different energy. S, P, D, F. All the orbitals having its own energy, own shape, own directions. In this valence bond theory, we are going to mixing these orbitals through hybridization process. Why we are mixing this means S different energy, P different energy, D different energy. Means orbitals different energies are there. Once I am going to mix S, P or D, then what happen? We will get the resultant. For example, I am going to mix S with the P. What I am getting? I am getting sp hybrid orbital. Sp hybrid orbital. Is it clear? I am going to mix this S. S means spherical, P means dumbbell. I am going to mix this S with P orbital. S different energy, different shape. P also different energy, different shape. I am going to mix this. The resultant I am getting now, this one is sp hybrid. See here one S 1p. Resultant 1 plus 1, 2. 2 sp hybrid orbital. But this sp hybrid orbital, same energy. We call it as equivalent. We call it as equivalent. Here what happened? See, in valence bond theory, the central metal atom is CMI. Central metal atom or ion. Why I am using both? Atom means oxidation state 0. There is no loss of electron. Ion means it's compulsorily positive charge. And central metal atom or ion, in this central metal atom or ion, they use maybe n-1d orbital or else ns or else np. Is it clear? Means central metal atom na ಈ orbitals hybridization ಅಲ್ಲಿ involve ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. or else or ಇದೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. maybe ns, np and nd orbitals. These orbitals are involved in hybridization. There is no f. Why I am not at all taking this f orbital? Means we are only dealing with transition element but not inner transition element. Inner transition element means it's F block, but this one is D block. Here in coordination chemistry, we are going to take only transition element but not the inner transition element. That's why hybridization, especially in this process, only these three orbitals are involved. It may be n-1d, ns, np or ns, np, nd orbitals. They may undergo hybridization. In what fashion? Everything I will explain in detail, but not now. Next, second one. Directionally, never explain the directional property. Which one? Werner's theory. In valence bond theory, we will get the complete picturization regarding the direction. Suppose if coordination number 4 means what? This is metal, means around metal 4 ligands are surrounded. Is it clear? Coordination number means around central metal atom or ion 4 ligands are surrounded. Here coordination number 4 means it may be sp3 hybridization. What type of hybridization? sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization, how we call it as 4 coordination number. See, s1p3, 3 plus 1, 4. Suppose coordination number, once again 4, it may be dsp2 hybridization. dsp2 means, see, d1, s1, p2. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4. Coordination number 4. If it is sp3 hybridization, means 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals are involving, means it's compulsory tetrahedral geometry. Tetrahedral geometry means this is metal and all the ligands are arranged like this. This is tetrahedral fashion. This is PD fashion. Is it clear? Suppose if the hybridization involving dsp2 means 1d, 1s and 2p, then compulsory it's undergo square planar geometry. It will occupy square planar geometry. Square planar geometry. Suppose coordination number 6. Coordination number 6. It may be d2sp3. See, 2 plus 4, 6. It may undergo d2sp3, means 2d orbitals and 1s orbital and 3p orbitals are involving. What about the geometry? It's octahedral. octahedral geometry. It's look like this. Metal, around a metal, 6 ligands are surrounded. L, 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 L. See, this fashion we call it as octahedral. See, if the coordination number 6 means, just observe here, if the coordination number 4 means, two types of hybridization are possible. One, it may be sp3 or another it may be dsp2. If the coordination number is 6, then what about the hybridization? One, it may be d2sp3 or another one sp3d2. See, it's just like this. First d is there means n minus 1 d orbital are involving hybridization. Last d is there means like this hybridization, nd orbitals are involved. Here for both cases also the shape or geometry constant, that is octahedral geometry. This is regarding direction. See, in valence bond theory we are going to deal with hybridization. Hybridization is nothing but mixing of atomic orbitals. Here especially mixing means s orbital different energy, p orbital different energy, d orbital different energy. In this process we are going to mixing all these orbitals in definite proportions. See, there is a limitation. Yes, only one. P3. Here D1, S1, P2, DSP2. There is a limitations. This process we call it as hybridization, the mixing. Why we are mixing this? To get the equivalent. Suppose the coordination number 4 and the hybridization sp3 means we will get tetrahedral, means we will get the particular direction. Direction means geometry. Werner A explained for coordination chemistry, coordination compound, there is a direction, but he never explained what type of direction is there and how it occupies particular geometry. He never explained that. But by using this valence bond theory, we can easily understand this type of geometries. And suppose coordination number 6, then we call it as D2sp3 or else sp3d2. What about the geometry? It always occupied for both cases also octahedral geometry. This is regarding the postulates. And one more postulate is there. You all know we are always using transition metal. Transition metal means metal should contain vacant orbitals. When it will undergo hybridization? When metal contain vacant orbitals. Means CMI should contain vacant d orbital. Not only d, it may be s, d, s, p, like that. Means CMI, central metal ion or atom, should contain vacant orbitals. Vacant orbital means it should be empty. Metal empty idre tane ligand kododu. That's why it should be empty. What about the second? Ligand should donate pair of electron towards what? Towards CMI. Pair of electrons towards CMI. Means ligand, we all know ligand is, it's a electron rich species. It should donate the pair of electron towards the vacant orbitals. I'm not going to precise, it's D or S. Means it should be vacant orbital. For that vacant orbital, the ligand should donate the lone pair of electron. And next very important topic in this valence bond theory, we can easily analyze about the magnetic property. Whether the compound belongs to paramagnetic or diamagnetic. Here especially solid state, we discuss 5 magnetic property: diamagnetic, paramagnetic, ferromagnetic, ferrimagnetic, antiferromagnetic. But in this topic, I am going to take only 2 types of magnetic property. One is paramagnetic property and second one diamagnetic property. What is this paramagnetic property? It's just magnetic susceptibility. Magnetic susceptibility means, for example, here 2 magnets are there means, here what happens? Magnetic environment will create. If I place the coordination compound here in between the strong magnetic bar magnets, or else in the environment of the magnetic field or force, then what happens? It will attract or else it will repel. Only 2 cases. Here, what is this paramagnetic? How this valence bond theory explain the paramagnetic property? Suppose in this coordination, for any particular coordination compound, if the compound containing unpaired electrons, if the compound containing unpaired electron means what? It's not paired. Very simple. It's not paired. It may be like this or it may be like this. You know, spinning, clockwise spin or else anti-clockwise spin. It's keep on fluctuating. Means there is a spinning. It's an unpaired electron. This is unpaired electron. If the compound containing unpaired electron, then such type of property we call it as paramagnetic property. The property name is paramagnetic property. Second one, diamagnetic property. Diamagnetic property. What is this diamagnetic property? Suppose if the compound containing no unpaired electron, when it contains, there is no unpaired electron. When we say that there is no unpaired electron, when it is paired. For example, if it contains paired electron, if it contains paired electron, if it contains paired electron, if the compound containing unpaired electron, unpaired means it's not paired, it's single. Such type of compound we call it as paramagnetic property or as paramagnetic compound. Diamagnetic property or diamagnetic compound means it mainly contains, if the compound contain paired electron. It's too simple. Tumba simple agide. First, central metal atom or central metal ion, it should contain vacant d orbital. Vacant means it should be empty. Why it should be empty? Because ligands are donating the electron towards the empty place. And next one, magnetic property. Whether it may be diamagnetic or paramagnetic. When we call it as diamagnetic, if the compound containing paired electron, then we call it as diamagnetic. When we call it as paramagnetic, when the compound containing unpaired electron. I will take a precise example and then I will explain how the unpaired electrons are present. Everything I will explain. Next, after this, especially in CET, they will give one compound and they ask you to calculate the magnetic moment. It's represented by mu. square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr-Magneton. Bm means Bohr-Magneton. How to calculate the magnetic moment qualitatively? Qualitatively means number. For that particular compound, the magnetic moment is 4, 5, 6. It's a number. How to calculate means square root of n into n plus 2. What is this n? N means number of unpaired electron. Number of unpaired electron. What is this n? N means number of unpaired electron. N is nothing but number of unpaired electron. See, this Bm means Bohr-Magneton. It's a unit for the magnetic moment. This is regarding the postulates of VBT, valence bond theory. Now, I am going to take one particular example in order, by using this valence bond theory, how to predict what about the geometry, what about the magnetic property, everything I am going to explain in detail. Next, using VBT, explain geometry, magnetic behavior, everything. Now I am going to take particular example. First one, nickel 2 ions. See, you already know about this compound. Correct na? Central metal atom is nickel. Nickel is surrounded by 4Cl. 4Cl means 4 chloride ion. It's an anionic ligand. And the overall, see, the overall is enclosed by 2 minus. See, above this square bracket, 2 minus is there. Means what it indicates? It indicates this is a anionic complex. Yes, first you should write. It is a what type of complex this is? This is anionic complex. Very simple. Central metal atom is nickel. Nickel is surrounded by 4 chlorides and it carries 2 minus charge. 2 minus charge means what type of complex this is? This is anionic complex. It is an anionic complex. It is anionic complex. What is this? This is anionic complex. Okay. First one over. Which one is the central metal atom or ion here? Nickel. So, CMI and the complex. In this complex, which one is the CMI? Central metal atom or ion? Nickel. Just write down Ni. Too simple. First one, whether it is a neutral, anionic or cationic complex. First we should know what type of complex this is. Positive, negative or neutral, no charge. It's a negatively charged, that's why anionic complex. Over. Which one is the central metal atom? We should specify that. It's a nickel. Yes. Next, oxidation state of nickel. Oxidation state of nickel. Last class only I explained how to calculate the oxidation state, where in order to explain regarding the IUPAC nomenclature. Correct na? In order to explain IUPAC nomenclature, you should write the oxidation number in open bracket like this by using Roman numbers. Here, oxidation state of nickel we should calculate. See, for this compound nickel, Cl4 2 minus. I don't know the oxidation state of nickel. So I am taking as X. But we know the charge of chloride ion -1. All halogen atom. Chloride is a halogen atom. All halogen atom carry -1 charge. So X plus. Why plus? Along with the nickel, chlorides are there. That's why plus bracket -1 into 4 times. Why -1 into 4 times? Because -1 is the charge for 1 chloride. 4 chlorides are there. So multiplied by 4 is equal to -2. Because it's an anionic complex. Then X plus into minus 1 into 4 is equal to -2. Then what happened? X is equal to -2. This -4, it's in left hand side. It will comes to right hand side. It becomes +4. X is equal to +2 +4 -2. We will get +2. What about the oxidation state? +2. +2 means what? Nickel already lost 2 electrons. It's in +2 state. What about the electronic configuration of nickel? Nickel atomic number 28. Correct na? Nickel atomic number 28. You don't know means just you follow this. Scooty Vikram Feku Nikuzan. Scooty Vikram Feku Nikuzan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 21, 22, 23, 24. Like the 28. So, atomic number 28. Atomic number 28, what it indicates? Atomic number is nothing but number of electrons present or else number of protons present. So, electronic configuration. In order to write the electronic configuration, we should know the atomic number of nickel. Atomic number of nickel is 28. Then, how to write the electronic configuration? Argon 18. You know, argon core means 18 and 3D 4s. First, we should fill the electron for this s orbital. After that only, we are going to fill D. Then see, 18 is there. 18 plus 2, 20. 20 remaining 8 electrons. So, I am going to fill the remaining 8 electron for 3D. After this, this is electronic configuration for nickel 0. 0 means there is no loss of electron. Elemental stage. Now, electronic configuration for nickel 2 plus. Nickel 2 plus means it lost 2 electron. See, it lost 2 electron means 28 minus 2. 26 electron. 28 minus 2, 26 electron. Argon core as it is 18, 3D, 4s. I am going to remove this 2 electron. Why? Oxidation state is +2. Number of electron 26. I am going to remove this 2 electron. 18 plus 8, 26. Simple. Why I am going to remove this s electron? Because it's easy to remove than in D. Lower energy. Now, everything finished. Now, I am going to write this electronic configuration like this. Box diagram. You know, d orbital means 5. 5 degenerate orbitals are. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 boxes. It's nothing but 3D. Correct, na? Next, 4s. This is 4s. Here electron is not there. I don't want. But Why only one box for S? Because it contains only 2 electrons. Correct na? 2 electrons means 1 box. Next 4p 1 2 3. It's a triply degenerate. This is 5-fold degenerate. This one is triply degenerate. Now see, yes, no electron. I am not going to fill electron, but d orbital 8 electrons are there. First, shall I fill like this? First, for all the orbitals, we should give one electron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, still I have 3 more electrons. So once again, 6, 7, 8. This is electronic configuration for nickel 2+ stage. I am not talking about nickel, because in complex nickel is not in nickel 0 state. Nickel is exist in nickel +2 state. That's why I am going to consider this electronic configuration. After this over, next one, nickel is surrounded by Cl. Correct na? Nickel surrounded by Cl minus. How many Cl minus? 4 Cl minus. But you should know one thing, chlorides are weak ligands. Here Cl minus is a weak ligand. Cl minus is a weak ligand. Weak ligand adre ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? It never pair up this. So does not have capacity to pair the electron. Capacity to pair the electron in CMI. It's very simple. ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 2 ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಈ ತರ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಬೆಂಚ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 2 ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಎನಫ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋತೀರ. If you are strong, only one person is sitting here. Only one person. One bench ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. If you are weak, ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಇವರು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೂರ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. Same case. Here Cl, chloride is a weak ligand. So weak ligand means it remains as it is. ಇದೇ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It never pair up. ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನ ಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Understood? What about the first postulate? Metal should contain vacant. This is vacant. Electrons are there. Electrons ಇದೆಯಾ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಇಲ್ಲ. It's vacant. Vacant ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಖಾಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. Why? Ligand should donate the pair of electron. Here one electrons are there, but ligand is not ready to donate the electron for this. Why? Ligand itself donating the pair of electron. So what happen? First, this will undergo hybridization. Why I am taking S and P? Because this one is fully filled and this one is partly filled. I don't want fully filled also, partly filled also. I want completely empty orbital. These three are completely empty. See? Yes. Why I am selecting only one S and 3p? Because around the nickel, how many chlorides are surrounding? 4. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. Andre one chloride illige pair of electron kodutte. Ide ತರ 4 chloride 4 boxes ಗೆ pair of electrons na kodutte. That is the meaning. Then what happens? This will undergo hybridization. This remains as it is. Which one? This one, 3d orbital. It never ever involved in hybridization. Which one involved in the hybridization? This one. This becomes sp3 high orbital. What is this? sp3 hybrid orbital. See, before that, I just written S are separate and all the P's are separate. But after hybridization, all are having same energy. So, what I am getting? 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals means all are having equal energy. Correct, na? See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow one day stretch. It indicates all the 4 orbitals having same energy or else equivalent energy. Adana now we call it as hybrid orbitals. Is it clear? Then after this, 4 chlorides attack this one. Cl, 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 Cl. It donates one pair of electron towards this empty sp3 hybrid orbital. 4 chlorides donate 4 sp3, 4 pairs of electron towards 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Then what happened? It looked like this. What is this? Pair of electron. Which one gave this electron? Ligand. Now the question. I already explained that sp3 hybrid orbital is there means sp3 is there means coordination number 4 hybridization sp3 means what type of geometry that is? That is tetrahedral geometry. That is tetrahedral geometry. That is tetrahedral geometry. That's too simple, easy. See, Cn is equal to 4 sp3 tetrahedral geometry. Means once it occupies sp3 hybridized orbitals, then automatically around central metal atom, the ligands are arranged in a tetrahedron. Here, central metal atom is nickel. So, nickel. Around nickel, chlorides. It looks like tetrahedral. See, tetrahedral. It looks like tetrahedral. And this is regarding geometry. Correct, na? Here, they will ask this question, this type of question. Total 4 VBTs are there. Means they will give one particular example. By using that particular example, you should write like this. And you should predict the geometry for that particular compound. After that, hybridization. And last one, magnetic property. For these 3 points, you people will get 3 marks. This is compulsory question for 3 marks. You can check in previous year question paper. Compulsory for 3 marks. And just try to understand this. Just try to understand this. It occupies tetrahedral geometry. It occupies tetrahedral geometry. What about the magnetic property? Magnetic property. Magnetic property. Too simple. Just observe this. Here, these 3 boxes contain paired electrons. But what about this? Unpaired electron. It contains unpaired electron means what type of magnetic behavior they will exhibit? Unpaired electron means they exhibit paramagnetic. They exhibit paramagnetic means the compound is in paramagnetic nature. Why it's paramagnetic? Because due to the presence of unpaired electron. It's too simple. Now, if you start from here, if you end here means you will get 3 marks. 1 marks for this hybridization. What type of hybridization it will undergo. And second one, geometry. And finally, magnetic property. Just if you see this type of example, you just sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral geometry, paramagnetic in nature, if you write like that, you didn't get proper marks. Like this only you should derive everything. Now once again I am going to summarize this. First one, they will give this compound. Not only this, total 4 are there. Here this one, nickel means, what about the IUPAC name? See, very simple. It's an anionic complex. It's an anionic complex. So first cation, counter ion is there. But here is not a counter ion. After the counter ion name, it may be potassium, it may be sodium. After counter ion name, tetrachloro nickel. It's not nickel, nickelate. Why? It's an anionic complex. Nickelate 2. Is it clear? Yes. Now, what type of complex this is? This is anionic complex. Which one is the central metal atom? Nickel is the central metal atom. After that, what about the atomic number or else number of electrons? Nickel atomic number is 28. Oxidation state, especially in this compound, it's exhibit nickel in +2 state. +2 state means it already lost 2 electrons. In this complex, nickel contain out of 28, it lost 2 electrons, so it become 26 electron. After that, you just write the electronic configuration. Argon core 3d8 4s2 +2 state. That's why I am going to remove this 2 electron from 4s orbital. After that, I am going to write the electronic configuration like this. Then nickel is surrounded by 4 chloride ions. In what fashion, I don't know. It undergo sp3 hybridization. Why sp3 hybridization? Because ligand donates electron only towards the vacant orbital. How many ligands are there? 4. So 4 ligands donate 4 towards 4 vacant orbital. So sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. Then after that, magnetic property. In this, unpaired electrons are there. That's why this is paramagnetic in nature. This is regarding this compound. Next one. Second one, nickel, but not chloride, it's cyanide, cyanido group. 4, 2 minus. It's too simple. It is an anionic complex? Yes, because -2 is there. That's why it's an anionic complex. It is a anionic complex. It is an anionic complex. Why it is anionic complex? Because why it is anionic complex? Because it's surrounded by 2 minus. 2 minus is there means anionic complex. Last example, chloride. Chloride also anionic ligand and the complex also anionic. This one also, Cn also anionic ligand and the complex also anionic complex. Simple. Which one is the CMI? Central metal ion of the compound or else complex. Nickel. Correct na? Here also nickel, central metal atom. Yes, over. Next, electronic configuration of nickel. How to write the electronic configuration for nickel? Nickel atomic number 28. Nickel atomic number 28. So, argon 18. Argon 18. 3d8 state of nickel. Oxidation state of nickel. Calculate the oxidation state for nickel. I don't know the oxidation state. That's why I am taking as X. Plus -1 because it's a anionic ligand. -1 into 4 is equal to -2 because overall charge is 2 minus. Now X minus 4 is equal to -2. X is equal to this minus 4 is there in left hand side. It will come to right hand side. It become -2 plus 4. So overall +2. In previous case also same. +2. In this oxidation state, what about the electronic configuration of electronic configuration for nickel 2+? If the nickel exists in +2 state, argon 18, 3d8, 4s 0. I am going to remove this 2 electron from s orbital, 4s orbital. Is it clear? Now I am going to draw the box diagram for this. First one for 3D. How many electrons are there? 8 electrons are. Just fill as it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is there. Only 8. So it contains 2 unpaired electron. This contains 4s and 4p vacant orbitals. Clear? Next one. Nickel is surrounded by Cn minus. How many? 4. 4 Cn minus. Means nickel is a CMI. Around the nickel, 4 cyanide groups are surrounded. After this, for chloride, what I explained, chloride is a weak ligand. Means they don't have capacity to pair up the unpaired electron. But cyanide is a strong ligand. Cn minus is a strong ligand. What it will do? It pair up the unpaired electron in CMI. It pair up the unpaired electron. It pair up the unpaired electron in CMI. CMI is there, no? In this CMI, unpaired electrons are there, no? Once ligand will approach, see, this is just nickel. Once ligand it start approaching Cn, what happens? This unpaired electron is there, no? It start pairing up. Then after that, it's paired up. After ligand approach, how this electronic configuration change? What happened then? Again 5 boxes, 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But only one thing, after Cn approaches a strong ligand, this unpaired become paired. Means, what happened means, before like this, this electron will jump from here to here. Ligand is very strong. Once it approach, it will push the electron towards the unpaired. Then unpaired become paired. Then this become paired. How many CN groups are surrounded? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. See? Cn minus, Cn minus, Cn minus. Here, what are all the orbitals are involved in hybridization? This is D. 3D means D. How many D? Only one D. One is vacant now. That's why D. How many S? Only one S. So yes. How many P? This is 4S. This is 4P. How many P? 1, 2. 1, 2. So P2. Then what type of hybridization this is? DsP2 hybridization. Then what type of hybridization this is? DsP2 hybridization. Too simple. In previous case, the electrons are not paired, unpaired. Then obviously ligand donate the electron towards this sp3. But here it's paired means this become vacant. Ligand occupy this vacant space also. Then the hybridization become sp2. In previous case, sp3. Don't confuse these two. Once coordination number 4 and the hybridization is dsp2. Hybridization, dsp2 hybridization. dsp2 hybridization. Coordination number 4, hybridization is dsp2. Then obviously geometry square planar. What about the geometry? Square planar. Very, very important. 1 marks for this, 1 marks for this. How it looks? Square planar. It looks like square. Planar means everything are present in the same plane. That is square planar. And yes, everything finished now. Next, what about the magnetic property? Magnetic property. What about the magnetic property? Whether only two things are possible. It may be diamagnetic or it may be paramagnetic. See, here any unpaired electrons are there? Here you should observe, not here. Here unpaired electrons are there. But after ligand approach, then only you should observe. Here any unpaired electrons are there? No unpaired electrons. All the electrons are paired. Once all the electrons are paired, then it's paramagnetic or diamagnetic? It's diamagnetic. Diamagnetic in nature. Diamagnetic in nature. For this, 1 mark. Simple. 3 marks. 1 mark for dsp2 hybridization. Next for square planar and next for diamagnetic in nature. Simple. Too simple. See, once again I am going to summarize this. Up to the here same. Previous case, what are all the things we did? Same thing up to here. But only one thing. There also nickel is surrounded by 4 ligand. Here also nickel is surrounded by 4 ligand. But what is the major difference? There nickel is surrounded by weak chloride ligands. But here nickel is surrounded by strong Cn minus ligand. If it is weak, unpaired electron present, paramagnetic. If it is strong, there is no unpaired electron, it's paired out. It becomes diamagnetic. That is sp3, this one is dsp2. that is tetrahedral, even though coordination number 4. This one is square primary. Yes. Next, very interesting one. Still now we discuss regarding the coordination number 4. Now we are going to start with coordination number 6. CO NH3 6 3 plus. CO means central metal atom is cobalt. Cobalt is surrounded by 6 ammonia ligands and it overall carry charge plus 3. So it is a cationic complex. It is cationic complex. Cationic complex means it carry positive charge. See, plus 3. Understood? Central metal ion and complex. The complex means ಯಾವುದು central metal atom? Cobalt. Into complex is equal to cobalt. Cobalt. See, be careful. Capital C, small letter O. If you write like this, CO, it's wrong. It gives different meaning. CO means carbonyl. Carbonyl is different. Cobalt is different. Be careful. In examination, instead of like this, if you represent like this means it's wrong. CO means cobalt. But this CO is not cobalt, it's carbonyl. Central metal atom is cobalt. Yes, no problem. Next, electronic configuration for cobalt. Cobalt atomic number 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27. Nickel 28. 27. Argon 80. 3D. 4s. First I am going to fill the electron for S. Now for D, 20 electrons already I filled. Remaining 7. Is it clear? Now I am going to calculate the oxidation state. Oxidation state of cobalt. I don't know. I am going to calculate. That's why I am taking as X plus. You know NH3 is a neutral ligand. Neutral means no charge. There is no negative. There is no positive. Neutral. 0 into 6 is equal to overall charge plus 3. Plus 3. X 0 into anything? 0 is equal to plus 3. It's simply super easy. Because ligand is neutral, there is no number. 0 is multiplied by anything? 0. Oxidation state becomes plus 3. Now, electronic configuration for CO plus 3 state. If it is in plus 3, what about the electronic configuration? See, 0 state 27. Now, plus 3 means what? 27 minus 3. It becomes 24. Understood why it became 24? Because 27 electrons are there. When cobalt in an elemental state, 0 state. But after it's lost 3 electron, 27 minus 3 become 24. Argon 18, it's very important, try to understand properly. First I am going to remove this 2 electron. 4s2 become 4s0. But how many electrons it lost? 3 electron. But how many electrons I removed? 2 electron. Remaining one more electron I am going to remove now. 7 is there, it becomes 6. Now 1 plus 2, 3 electrons I just remove. Clear? This is electronic configuration. Now I am going to draw the box diagram. (3D) 4s 4p. How many electrons are there? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more electron is there, no? So 6 I just paired. Is it clear? Yes. Now this is electronic configuration for cobalt, especially plus 3 oxidation state. Now cobalt plus 3 surrounded by 6 ammonia ligand. 6 ammonia ligand. How many ammonia ligands surround this cobalt plus 3? 6 ammonia. And one more thing, ammonia is a strong ligand. NH3 is a strong ligand. If ammonia is a strong ligand, what happens? It starts pair up the unpaired electron. What it will do? It pair up the unpaired electron. It pair up the unpaired electron. Ammonia is a strong ligand. In previous case also, cyanide is a strong ligand. Ammonia is a strong ligand. It pair up the ligand. Unpaired electrons. Then what happened for this box diagram? Just I am going to draw this. See how many electrons are there? 6. First I will write as it is. 6. See, once ammonia approaches towards the cobalt, this electron jump here and this electron jump here. Then this become one, two. Here already one electron is there. This electron will come here. Then unpaired become paired. Then it's already one electron is there. This become paired. Got it? Now around cobalt, how many ligands are there? How many empty orbitals are there? Just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want only 6 empty orbitals. Why? Because only 6 ligands. So 6 NH3 ammonia ligands donate 6 pair of electrons. Then this is 3D. How many d orbitals are involving? 2. That's why D2. And 1 S. Yes. How many P? 3P. D2sp3. Once it occupies D2sp3 means geometry, octahedral geometry. Octahedral geometry. It occupies octahedral geometry. Got it? See, then it looked like this. Two, three, four. This is different energy. Once it undergo D2sp3, all are same energy. Hybrid orbitals. Hybrid orbitals. Here any unpaired electrons are there? You just observe here. Any unpaired electrons are there? No unpaired electrons. So this one is diamagnetic in nature. Diamagnetic in nature. It's not paramagnetic, it's diamagnetic in nature. It undergoes D2sp3 hybrid orbitals, hybridization, and octahedral geometry and diamagnetic in nature. Here, one more thing you should observe. Starting point only I explained whether it may be n-1d 4s ns or np orbitals. Means this type of orbitals they may involve in hybridization or else ns, np or nd. Correct na? Here first d orbital is there. See d. That's why this is inner d orbital or else inner d orbital complex. One more name for this complex, inner d orbital complex. Why inner d orbital complex means inside d orbitals are involving. This one is outside d orbitals. Here this d orbitals present inside. Correct na? If outside means next. This is inner orbitals. And here this is low spin complex. What is this low spin complex? Here any unpaired electrons are there? Low spin. Spin means jumping. Low. There is no jumping. Jumping is less. Low spin complex means here all are paired. There is no jumping. That's why this is a low spin complex. These 2 points added for especially for this compound. Now once again I am going to repeat this. Here it's a cationic complex. Why this is a cationic complex means +3. And then central metal atom is cobalt, CO. Electronic configuration for cobalt is electronic atomic number 27. So 3d 7 4s2 is the electronic configuration. But I don't want this. I'm going to find out the oxidation state for cobalt. You know how to calculate the oxidation state? Because ammonia is a neutral. Once it's ammonia is a neutral ligand means there is no charge. So 0 multiplied by anything. Here 6 ligands are there. That's why 6. Total +3 state. Cobalt +3 means out of 27 electron it lost 3 electrons. So it becomes 24. This is the electronic configuration for the 24. After writing this, cobalt +3 is surrounded by 6 ammonia, but ammonia ligand is a strong ligand. So it starts pair up. Once it starts pair up, it's paired everything. Once it's paired, yes, it's paired. After that, see 6 electrons are there. Once it's paired, it becomes 3 paired electron. These 2 are vacant. I want 6 vacant orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 vacant orbitals. That's D2sp3. It undergoes D2sp3 hybridization. After that, hybridization over. Once coordination number 6, whether it may be D2sp3 or sp3d2, it always occupies tetrahedral geometry. Very, very important. Next, there is no unpaired electron. All the electrons are paired. That's why this is diamagnetic in nature. After that, here inner d orbitals, inner means inside, d orbitals are involving, that's why we call it as inner d orbital complex or else inner sphere complex. One more name, inner sphere. Sphere means d orbital, inner sphere complex. Another name for this. And low spin complex. Why low spin? There is no unpaired electron. There is no unpaired electron means one electron is paired by another. Once the electrons are paired, there is no jumping. That's why I am going to use low spin complex. This is regarding this one. How to name this? Examine cobalt 3. What anion we will use? We just name that one. Okay. Next class, in this, especially in this today's session, we completed VBT postulates and Werner's drawback. What are all the Werner's drawbacks are there? This VBT successfully gave the useful, fruitful explanation for the drawbacks of Werner's. In this class, we come across the postulates of VBT, valence bond theory. And after that, by knowing all the postulates, we are going to apply for particular compound. Means how to calculate the magnetic behavior, magnetic susceptibility, number of unpaired electron. If unpaired electron is there, means paramagnetic or diamagnetic. Or else what about the geometry? Everything we discussed. Next class, I am going to start one more VBT by using this VBT concept. One more example is there. After that, limitations of VBT. You just work out this. It's compulsory. Out of 4 VBT in examination, you will get at least 1. Okay. Thank you.